Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Sherry, the fabulous author of this fabulous novel, Love Changes by Sherry Lucille. It's a novel. Today I am going to cook with you Swiss chard. I have never cooked Swiss chard before, but I thought, hey, why not? You know, to me the spirit of adventure is something that just cannot be underestimated. And so, you know, if you want to try something new, do something new, I recommend that you do. And it's also about making do, because you know, at first I didn't know I had any lemon left. I had a little piece left over from a recipe I made before, but I would have used lemon juice had I not had any lemon left. So in this recipe, here's some Swiss chard, or in the store I bought it from, it's called red chard. And as you can see, some of the leaves are very limp, and even though I don't know anything about Swiss chard, I know about greens. As a matter of fact, I got a pot of greens cooking over there on the stove, and I know that greens that you want to eat shouldn't be this limp. So I only need half a pound. This is a whole pound, so I think I'm going to cut these off or pull these out. I already washed these and not use them, so I'm putting them to the side. Okay, so here's my Swiss chard. On this recipe, and you're going to see me pausing to look over here at my computer screen, the same computer, by the way, where I type out my love stories. Anyway, it says all we need is a half a tablespoon of olive oil, 1 clove of garlic minced, 1/2 pound of Swiss chard, 1 small onion sliced, which I do not have, so we're going to do without that. I'll probably put some onion powder in later, and then lemon juice. So really, this is so easy. They say heat the frying pan, add the oil, and then stir fry your garlic for a minute. So I'm going to put my Swiss chard down, and I'm going to cut up some garlic. And this is how I normally do it. I just pull the clove off of these, and then I take off the ends. And then I kind of just peel, you know, the little outside layer away like on an onion. And so then they said minced. I think I'm just going to cut mine into small pieces. As I said before, I'm very liberal with my interpretation of recipes. I do it the way I want to do it, and nobody usually complains. I'm using my Cutco knives again, super sharp. Now, last time you were with me, we talked a little bit about interracial dating, which I never actually got to the subject. I just talked about the men in my novels. I talked about James, the wonderful black man. I talked about Mark, Shelley's handsome love interest. I didn't talk about Cameron. And Cameron I'm making a book about too. And his story is going to be called Love Promises. So I just hope you'll tune in for all the rest of the novels. If you have not yet read Love Changes, you can get it at www.sherry, S-H-E-R-R-Y, Lucille, Lucille.com. And it's also available on your Kindle readers. So if you have Kindle and you're not a person who does the whole, carry around the novels, I guess that's passé, you can still read my novel. So I got my garlic ready to go. I'm going to put some oil in the pan. So interracial dating, such an interesting topic. Oh, I'm going to heat the pan first, like I said. I'm going to try to follow a couple of the actual directions and rules this time. As I said, I don't always do that. So anyway, I'm heating up my pan. I got it on kind of medium, like 5 to 6 on the temperature gauge. And it's an interesting topic, controversial for some, not so much for others. Now I have to tell you that I am married to a wonderful black man. So some of you might be saying, well, she didn't follow her own advice. Well, here's my advice to my sister girls who say they cannot find a black man, which I don't think that's necessarily so. I know that there are lots of wonderful black men still out, still to be had. But if you're in an area where, say, it's mostly white, I say be adventurous, like me. Try something different you've never tried. Never had Swiss chard. I'm going to try it today. Maybe try a little interracial dating, see what happens. And then, that's not just news for us, for black women. That's news for anybody. We're all people. And I think even though I know sometimes black women have a problem with the number of black men that are dating white women, I say, a little tit for tat, a little, try it yourself, see if you like it. It's quite all right. Okay, so I got my garlic all cut up. I hear my pan over there starting to sizzle. And then here's my oil. Now in my stories, of course, there's lots of interracial dating because, you know, Mark is a white boy when he meets Shelley, the African American, as we call her now. Back in those days, she would have been called Negro because it was like in 50s when they first met. But anyway, you know, that's an interracial situation, which the neighborhood in Chicago on the South Side where the story takes place is one that's in transition, and you know, lots of people are not really up for that. But then as these characters all grow into adulthood, James, who doesn't get together with Shelley, and that may be revealing a little too much because I really want you to read my novels, he's going to have his own story, and you'll see what the interracial twist is there. And then Cameron, kind of a villain in Love Changes, he's going to have his own love story, and we'll see what the twist is there. Lots of exciting twists. My son told me if you're going to write a book, you have to have some weird twist, interesting things happen, or nobody's going to want to read your book if it's just a flat read as you go kind of dictionary type thing. And you know, I know that because I read a lot and I like to have stuff that's really interesting popping and going on. I'm going to put my cutting board back over here. So this Swiss chard thing seems like a snap. You know, you heat up your garlic for a good minute, and I'm going to just stir it around a little bit, so because garlic can burn pretty easy and we don't want burnt garlic. And you know, if you're a person that has to keep track of the time a little bit, you can use your stove timer. Put a minute on and count it down. Now, of course, I've already been talking about half a minute, so when that gets to 30, I'm going to go ahead and get my Swiss chard in there. And guess what? I got to get it cut up because it's not ready. All I'm going to do is take my Cutco knife, which is super sharp and will cut your fingers off. Be careful. And I'm going to cut my Swiss chard from the stems because I don't know anything about Swiss chard and don't know if I want to try to eat any stems. And you know, back in the day when my mom was cooking greens, she would just, you know, use her hands and snap it up. I'm going to just cut mine into uniform pieces. So, and put them in. And anybody who knows anything about cooking greens knows that they cook down so doggone much. You put in a whole big ton and like you think you're going to be able to feed an army, 50 people or something, and by the time you get done, you got enough to feed 5. So I'm assuming that this Swiss chard is going to cook down a significant amount. Oh, I'm way past my 30-second mark, but here's my Swiss chard ready to go in. Smells very fragrant. I'm getting a little popping because my greens are wet. I washed them before I started this episode. So I'm telling you, there's nothing to this. This is olive oil, Swiss chard, which I've always been curious about. And as I said, you know, you might as well experiment, be an adventurer. And garlic, sauteed garlic. And when you're done, all you're supposed to do is spritz a little lemon juice on it. So I think that so many people are afraid of things, afraid of adventure. I am not afraid of adventure, and as a matter of fact, the older I get, the more adventurous I become. Tidy up my table a little bit, you don't need to see all that. Here's my lemon. Lemon juice goes on. Looks lovely. I'm sure it's going to cook down a lot more than that. You don't have time to wait. I don't have time to make you wait. Welcome, and see you later. Another adventure of Love Changes with Sherry Lucille. Cooking with Sherry.